Okay, good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss here the portion of simple paper of mathematics, which is most important for your examination point of view. Because from the sample paper, most relevant question you can practice and you can maximize your performance. You can maximize your scores. So let's start the session, and you can observe here. This is the sample question paper 2020-21 of basic mathematics. So you can observe here, you can see here question number 3. If let's start, we can solve here question number 3 at first. What are the given in the question? Given that HCF of 96 and 404 is 4. Find the LCM of 96 and 404. The single marks question, but you have to apply the approach. How this question can be solved? So look at it. Now I'm going to share the whiteboard also. This one whiteboard, and here you can, yes, question is given that HCF of 96. This is the question. This is the question, and okay. So if you consider question number 1, just like if you consider question number 1, then it is mentioned here. Given that HCF of 96 and 404 is 4, we have to find here LCM. So in this question, you can apply the formula of product of LCM and HCF. By this process, you can solve easily. So I am going to discuss here HCF multiply by LCM equal to product of numbers. Equal to product of numbers. Product of numbers. Product of numbers. So now you can write here HCF, which is given here 4, and you have to find here LCM. So you can write here LCM as it is. Now you can here product of numbers. That means you can multiply 96 multiply by 404. So you have to solve here. Now you have to find LCM, and you can write here, sir, LCM equal to, now you can understand. Now you can understand these 4 goes in denominator, and it becomes 96 multiplied by 404 and whole divided by 4. Then it becomes, now you can observe here, this is cancelled by 4 in 101. Now it becomes 96 multiplied by 101. You have to multiply it, and it becomes, when you multiply, then it becomes 9600 plus 96. Okay, so its answer would be 9696. So this is your final answer. So this is the value of LCM. This is the value of LCM, which is your answer. So I hope you have no doubt in this question. This is very simple question of 1 marks. Very simple question of 1 marks. You can multiply directly 96 and 101, and you can find your answer here. Okay, let's start the second question. So you can observe here, if we select the second question as Select any question for the practice point of view. Just you can observe here question number 5, which is given: if A and B are co-prime numbers, then find the HCF of A and B. Very simple. This is also 1 marks question. So look at, if you consider question number 2 for this session, then it becomes question number 2, and how we have to solve this one, so you can understood here. Okay, so if A and B are co-prime number, basic definition of co-prime number is simple concept is that when we discuss about the co-prime number, then the HCF of these two numbers, these two prime numbers must be 1. So simple concept is that HCF equal to 1. HCF equal to 1. So this is your final answer. For the example, you can consider any number and you can try to find the HCF. Your answer would be 1. Just like if you consider just like co-prime number 5 and 7. So if you consider 5 and 7, then you can try to understand, sir, 5 and 7, then these two numbers, then how we can understood the HCF of 1. 5 can be written as 5 into 1. 5 can be written as 5 into 1, and 7 can be written as 7 into 1. So you can observe here, no value is matched except of 1. Except 1, no value is matched. So your answer would be simply 1. It becomes 7 into 1. That means 1 is your HCF in the case of co-prime number. So very simple question. Now next. Next question we can consider. Let us see question number 10. If the perimeter and the area of the circle are numerically equal, then find the radius of the circle. This is also very simple conceptual question and easy question. So question number 3 of this session, question number 3, you can observe here, question is okay. So question number 3, according to the statement, you have to operate and you can proceed your answer. Okay, if the perimeter and the area, simply you have to apply the formula. What is the formula for perimeter of circle? 2 pi r. Simply you can write 2 pi r. 2 pi r. That means 2r multiplied by 22 by 7, which is the value of pi, and which is equal to the, and area of circle are numerically equal. Area of circle, that means pi r square. That means pi, values of pi equal to 22 by 7. This is the single marks question, so you can directly put the values also and you can proceed so fast. Pi r square, that means it becomes a square of r. Okay, pi r square, that means r into r. So simply you can observe here, sir, r, that means 1 r and this r is already cancelled. 22 by 7 and 22 by 7 is already cancelled. Now you can observe here, then find the radius of the circle. So you can observe here, sir, radius equal to values of r equal to 2. Okay, so radius becomes 2. So in this case, your answer would be r equal to 2. So radius of the circle, it becomes 2. So final answer. So I hope this is very easy question and you have no confusion in this question. Okay, let's start the next question. If you select any question which is of 2 marks or 3 marks or more than that, if you consider question number, this is also very simple question. Probability of an event plus probability of the event which is not event. Simply the values of this one becomes 100%. That means probability of doing work and probability of not doing work. when we combine these two events, probability of events, then it becomes 1. So this is the simple formula of the probability, and PE plus PE bar equal to 1. This is the formula based question. Next, in this question also you can observe here, sides of two similar triangles are in the ratio of 4:9. Corresponding medians of these triangles are in the ratio of. So you have to apply here properties of the triangle, and with the help of properties you can solve it. So simple, your answer would be 4:9. If we have to find the areas, then it becomes 4 square and 9 square. That means 16/81. Option number D. But it is not here. It is asked only corresponding medians. So the D be the not the answer. So you have to apply the properties. If you consider one more question here, this one. What is given? What is given in the question? It is mentioned here. Sir, ये 1.2 meter tall girls spot a balloon moving with the wind. This is the question of the next question, which is the question of height and distance. That means question number 4. That means question number 4. So this is the question number 4, and you can observe here how this question can be solved. So this is not so tough. Only you have to proceed by the process. Okay. ये 1.2 meter tall girls spots a balloon moving with the wind in a horizontal line at a height of 88.2 meter from the ground. Figure is also given in the question. So you can observe here the figure which is already given in this question. So you can try here. Observe the figure also. What is the a 1.2 meter tall girl spot a balloon moving with a wind in a horizontal line at a height of 80. This is one height. That means this one height which is given as 88.2 from here to there, from the ground. And the angle of elevation, what is the angle of elevations, which is an upward direction, not in downward direction. That means it is called just like Unnayan Kon in upward direction. So angle of elevations, that means in positive inclination, that means in anti-clockwise, in positive sequence. The angle of elevations of the balloon from the eyes of the girls, this one girls, and the height of these girls 1.2 meter is given, and you can observe here from the eyes of that girls, the angle of elevations up to the top, that means up to balloon is 30 degree, which is mentioned in the figure. In the first case, which is 60 degree, and then after some time when balloon is replaced from here to there, then the angle of elevations becomes 60 degree. In initial phase, the angle of elevation is 60 degree, which is the figure of this one. And in the second case, in the first case 60 degree, and in the second case 30 degree. So you have to find the value, find the distance traveled by the balloon during the interval. So simply in this case, we have to find the distance from traveled by the balloon during the interval. That we have to find the distance from here to there. So very simple question. You have to consider these two triangles, and after these two triangles, consideration of these two triangles, you have to apply the formula of tangent of angle of elevation, that means tan theta. So try to solve, which is given here. Try to solve here. So in this case, figure is already given. Now I'm going to draw the figure at first, because figure is most important. And you can observe here 1.2 meter girls, height of girls is 1.2 meter, and from the eyes of that girls, the angle of elevation in these two cases. In the first case, is the dotted line, and this the ground, and from here this is the balloon, final position of the balloon, in the second case. And the first case, first in the first case, this is the position of the balloon, and the angle of elevation, this one 60 degree. In the first case 60 degree, and in the second case, when balloon shift from this place to that place, it becomes 30 degree. It becomes 30 degree. So this is the formula, and one more data is given here. The height of this balloon from the ground, 88.2 meter. 88.2 meter. So this is the figure. Now you can consider here, that means you can consider here A, this can be considered here B, this position can be considered here C, this position can be considered here D. Now then this can be considered here E, and this can be considered as F. And if it is required, then you can consider here also G. So this is the starting process of solving this question, and we have naming the all these points which is possible in these two triangles. Now you can consider these two triangles are in triangle there are two triangles, ECG, and one more triangle here, EDF, and you have to consider here, just you have to apply tangent of 10 of 30 degree, 10 of 30 degree, and 10 of 60 degree, and with the help of these values you can solve this question, and simply you can find the values of distance between these two balloons. So how this can be considered? So simply you can, now I am going to give you conclusion of this question, how this can be solved, and you can calculate easily. So simple, it is given here 1.2 meter. Now you can observe here, sir, 88.2 meter is total. So one more thing you can do, 1.2 meter is this one, so also this one 1.2 meter, then it becomes 82.2 minus 1.2, that means this value becomes 87. So this one, the height which is perpendicular in the case of this triangle, that means tan theta, lamb bata aadhar, perpendicular by base, and it equal to tan of 30 degree. In the first triangle you can consider tan 30 degree, tan 30 degree you can consider here. So tan 30 degree equal to P by B, or where P is given as 87. From here you can now solve the values of B, and the values of B is equal to EG, and you have to find FG. So you have to consider this triangle also. Now in the second case, this is the first case, and in the second case you can consider tangent of 60 degree and tan theta perpendicular by base, and perpendicular, that means it is also 87, because if this is 87 then this is also 87, because these two lines are parallel lines. So 87, this is also 87, and this is also 87. So perpendicular, that means lump is already given, jo lump hai that is also already given, but you have to find base. So you can write here formula tan 60 degree, sir, tan 60 degree, and when you apply the formula tan 60, then it becomes 87, that means perpendicular by base, and base equal to EG. And from here, and you know very well that the value of tan 30 equal to 1 by root 3 and tan 60 equal to root 3. With the help of this one you can solve the values of EG, that means base, and when EG is already calculated, then you have to subtract from the when EF is calculated, then you have to subtract from the EG, because in the case number 1 EG is already calculated, which is the base in this big triangle. So you can write the values of FG, that means this distance equal to this distance equal to this distance equal to this distance equal to, you can write as the difference of, you can write as the difference of total EG minus EF, and this is the final answer. So I hope what is the process of solving this question, you have no doubt in this question, and if you have confusion in this question, then you can ask me anytime. Okay, thank you class. I hope आपको ये सेशन काफी इंटरेस्टिंग लगा एंड काफी इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन था ये आपके एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, बिकॉज द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन एंड द सैंपल क्वेश्चंस आर टोटली रिलेवेंट टू योर फाइनल एग्जामिनेशन. Okay, thank you once again. Now I am going to wind up the session here, and at first stop the share, then wind up this session also.